Hi, and welcome to the Berardis podcast. Today we have a special dynamic about slavery. This is a heavy topic to talk about, so we must be respectful. We're going to ask students what they think about slavery and other types of human exploitation. And the most important question, why do these problems still exist? So, get comfortable and start listening to this huge problem that in the 21st century is still with us.
Next, you will listen to the 3 interviews.
Adrian, can you tell me what is slavery?
Slavery for me is the condition in which one human being was owned by another.
From your previous knowledge, can you mention some types of human exploitation and modern slavery you know?
There are many types of human exploitation that I know, but the most common ones are the domestic servitude, forced marriage, sexual exploitation, and labor exploitation. And for the modern slavery, forced labor, and also the child sex trafficking. These two are a very common modern slavery that happens in Latin America and are growing very fast with the past of the days.
And last, what does these problems exist and what are the factors you think that are involved?
These problems still exist because there are many in charge people in companies that tend to serve exploitation of other people for personal gain.
Hi, I would like to ask you some questions. What is slavery to you?
Well, for me, slavery is taking away someone's rights, taking away their freedom.
Mention what types of human exploitation and modern slavery you know.
Well, I heard that certain famous clothing companies have people in unsuitable places with large hours of work in order to have cheaper labor.
Why do these problems exist and what are the factors involved?
I think this exists because rights are not yet sufficiently regulated everywhere, which causes companies to take advantage of people's situations.
Hi Diego, thank you for your time. The first question is, what is slavery?
The way I understand slavery is like the forced work without any proper payment.
Please tell me now what types of human exploitation and modern slavery you know.
Well, if you compare in countries like Mexico, the amount of days we have free at the year to, let's say, Germany or France, you see like we have very fewer days of vacation and longer hours of work, so that could be considered. Also the kids in Bangladesh or just countries with their fabricate clothing or shoes or electronic devices without any payment or without without proper consent because they're minors. So that's the things I know.
Now, why do you think these problems exist and what are the factors that are involved?
It's simply cheaper, and there's people that cannot defend against that because of the circumstances in those countries.
In the interviews conducted, we can see how most of the people knew what slavery was, and in fact, presented a very accurate definition. However, their answers varied greatly in the second question, in which they were asked to mention the different types of modern slavery, because some of them knew about it and others not so much. In the last question, they expressed similar answers, explaining that slavery is still a problem because people with more power take advantage of those who, due to the circumstances, are not able to defend themselves because their rights are not regulated. For example, migrants. It is important to address these issues to raise awareness about current prejudice and thus stand up and defend the principles of equality and human dignity. Thank you for listening to this podcast. We look forward to seeing you in the next broadcast. See you soon.